Last week I ran the Copenhagen Marathon and I wanted to share my experience of the race with you. I already posted the race video, but today I just want to talk about my experience of the race and how everything went. Now let's start with the Expo. The Expo was fairly small, but it had everything that you needed. There were a bunch of vendors there that sold discounted run gear. There were representatives of other marathons there. No long lines, so it was easy to pick up your bib and your free shirt. So all in all, I had a pretty good experience at the Expo. And then for race day, first of all, I want to compliment the organization for how well it was organized. The corrals had no barriers. I was amazed by that because there were just colored flags. You had to go to the color that you were assigned to on your bib, and everybody just did what they were supposed to. It went very smoothly. There was no pushing or shoving. Everybody was just where they were supposed to be, and the whole start just rolled through very easily. And everything else was the same way. Everything was just really well organized. So yeah, my compliments to the organization of the Copenhagen Marathon. The course of the race was amazing. Seeing the beautiful sights of Copenhagen was just a real treat. I'd never been to Copenhagen before, so everything was new to me. There were parts of the race where we'd cover the same part twice or sometimes even more. But since it was all new to me, it didn't bother me too much. I can imagine if you're from Copenhagen or you've run the marathon before, then you'd prefer not to cover the same stretches twice. But then again, for the spectators, it made it a lot easier to see runners twice or at different spots that are close to each other, because we're kind of zigzagging through the center. So that was a lot of fun. A lot of spectators got to go to different spots and see their runners in different stages of the race. Now, speaking of spectators, the spectators were really great. They were all over the place along the course, and yeah, like I said, they could move from one part to the next part, and that made it seem like there maybe even more spectators. There weren't as many spectators as races like London or Berlin, but still, the whole course we had spectators, and they do make it a lot easier and they make it more enjoyable. So thank you guys for cheering us on. Now, the weather that day was kind of warm. The weather report a week before said that it was going to be cloudy. Getting closer to race day, it said it might probably rain and we'd have some thunder. And then that weekend, all of a sudden it said, oh no, it's going to be sunny. And it was sunny and 22 degrees with not a cloud in the sky. So that made it a lot tougher for the runners. But then again, it wasn't my hottest marathon that I ever ran, so it wasn't that bad, but yeah, on the day it did feel that bad. I ran the entire marathon in intervals of 5 minutes of running, 1 minute of walking, and I did this to spare my knees a little bit. My knees are feeling fine. They feel a lot better than they did a year ago, but just to make sure that I wasn't going to get an injury by running the marathon, I ran the entire marathon in intervals. And I'm happy that I did. After 25K, I started feeling my legs a little bit. My thighs were getting sore, and afterwards I had some muscle in my legs, but I'm happy to say that my knees feel fine. My fueling during the race I did with Morton. Now, I'm not sponsored by them in any way. I used a drink at the start, and I took gels every 6K, which is according to their fueling plan. I did that for the last 3 marathons, and I'm very happy with that. It's really working for me. So yeah, I'm sure I'm going to be doing that for my next marathons as well. Copenhagen is a beautiful city and a great place to run through. It's about an hour-and-a-half flight from where I live, so I can't believe that I've never been to Copenhagen before. It's a beautiful place and a great place for a race. Tivoli was also a lot of fun to run through, and also spending the day at the park afterwards. It was just a really nice day. So if you're looking for a race for next year, I can really recommend the Copenhagen Marathon, and if they're organizing it again, if you're up to it, sign up for the breakfast run through Tivoli. I'm sure you're gonna love it. Until next time, get out there and run.